Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the final word for Everton versus Kariobangi Sharks over in Kenya. The first pre-season game, because I just don't think this was a free. I still don't. It's not a pre-season game. It's just like an exhibition game of football. I just don't. I mean, some of our players didn't even come back to a pre-season till like today because they were just like, no, swerve that one. Just send over the good-looking ones, Gomez and Baines, and
off we go.
But done and dusted. A 1-1 draw with the under-23s losing on penalties. It was what it was, I suppose. Decent little run out for a couple of first teamers and the under-23s.
Good turnout, wasn't it? Good crowd. You know, obviously a 10.5-hour flight for a 2-day trip or something isn't great, but we were obligated to do it. We went and did it, and you know, we've learned different things over the last couple of days, like hearing Everton play. That's boss, that clip when they're singing Everton with all the drums and getting Gibson and Bowler and Morgan Feeney up to dance. You can't miss that. But as far as the game went, it was a good workout. It was obviously very hot, and you're always going to get in something like this. And when you see in the squad that was flying out, you were always going to get a mixed team and a mixed performance because the lads have been back for 2 or 3 days, so they were very fit and off you went with it. But I think the manager will have been pleased that people like Holgate got, you know, a good amount of minutes under his belt, and you know, the likes of Gomez and that got 45 minutes, didn't he? So, and Umar, it's good to see Umar back with this whatever he's put on his hair.
Was it though? Was it really good to see him back?
He didn't do great, did he?
No. Horrendous.
But there you go, you know, it was a 1-1 draw. And off we go.
It's hard to talk about it, isn't it? The whole trip, I suppose, was again, like you just mentioned, it was a PR exercise. It was on behalf of the sponsors. Everton go over there. Community-wise, it's great. Yeah. They're taking all the kits over. Seen a few Twitter pictures from Everton fans who'd gone over into the different places. Helping out, having fun. Brilliant from that point of view that people get to see a different
way of life.
Culture, you know, show, you know.
Barry, you sits behind me, man.
Yeah, seeing that. And from all that point of view, it was brilliant seeing Everton players, men and women.
That's good, isn't it? Hopefully that's what the club will.
Well, that was a really good thing. I thought that was really good, especially with the Women's World Cup just finishing and being such a success. And we've said this many a time. If you're going to go over somewhere, take the first team, take the under-23s and take the ladies team and get them all out there, because different people have...
well, they'll respond to different...
Yeah, exactly, you know, so I thought that was good, and they went out in the community. The game, like you just said, you know, I just loved the fact that it was a 60,000 ground and yet the attendance was 64,000 or something. It was like, can you imagine that here? Like, it'd be like,
in the aisles, they've stood in the aisles and everything.
60. Yeah. So that was really, really positive. You've seen the new kit in the sunshine.
Does it look good?
With the sweat off Andre Gomez's brow just dripping down. That all looked good. So from that point of view, no problems. And whatever happened on the pitch happened. I couldn't care less. It was just like you were saying then. It was just a run around for a few players. And second half we got we got nearly all the 23 team except for the goalkeeper, and they looked like an under-23 side. You know, we've been playing together for the last 2 or 3 years. Whereas in the first half it just looked like a load of people throwing in a pitch together who'd obviously been on holiday. So.
That was disjointed. I mean, we should have scored early on. Holgate should have scored great ball in, and Mason Holgate should have put it away. You know, he got a good connection on it as well. Thought it was in, just went wide. You know, and then I suppose the disappointing thing about it was the injury to Adam O'Loughlin.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? That's the only thing, isn't it? You know, I seen him go in for the tackle. The pitch, I seen it straight away. The pitch you could see wasn't great. There was a pass back to Lewis Gibson, and it just completely skipped away from him.
Speed was the ball never slowed down, did it?
So straight away you could see the pitch wasn't great, and he went in for a tackle. He turned his ankle, and he went down, got treatment, and then went down again, and then obviously went off. And so that was disappointing.
It's frustrating, isn't it? Because he'd have wanted, regardless of what happens with him, he'd have wanted to get fit and impress, wouldn't he? I think the manager would have liked to have seen him have a half and see what he could do. And I just get the feeling with Lookman that it's just not going to happen for him at Everton. And just everything seems to always transpire against him. And I don't know whether it's classic law of attraction with him, where he doesn't really want to be here anyway, so things happen. I don't know, but it just feels like that. And it was one of them, and you were just like, he was one of the players I wanted to watch, you know what I mean? And you were going off in the first 10, 12 minutes, whatever it was a little bit frustrating. But I thought, you look at Gomez moved the ball around all right, but looked short of fitness, obviously, on that pitch. I thought Tom Davies worked hard. I thought he pressed from the front. He had, like, good energy about him. But it was just very disjointed, wasn't it? It really was.
I personally don't want to talk about anybody playing football, because I just don't think the game warranted it. I just thought it was just an exercise in... Honestly...
it's the final word.
I know, but I'm here to say that I honestly took absolutely zero from that game in terms of... and I've seen the reactions of some people, and it's just...
No.
I know, that's what I'm saying. No, that's why I want to get that point across, is that the first half, I just don't take anything from it from a footballing point of view.
It was a game played 7,200 miles away, I think it was. I mean, I was amazed it was a 10.5-hour flight. I didn't realise it was that long. Played after 3 days training. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the only time he'd been on the grass properly. Playing against the team who were fitter. Anyway, a bit more.
They were up for it as well.
Conditions and wanted to do well.
Huge opportunity for them
in front
of a huge crowd.
And Everton, they just looked, certainly in the first half. The second half they didn't. The first half they looked better because they were just sharper. And
their number 7 was great.
7 was good, and we got caught a few times trying to step out, and they made some great runs. And you'd have to give them, they took their opportunity in that first half. But you've got to talk about the goal, mate, because the
goal's classic pre-season, isn't it?
Holgate trying to step out when there's a striker next to you, clearly going the other way from you, is dodgy to say the least. And instead of doing this, he should have just carried on because he almost got back anyway. But he kind of did get back to cover. But the goalkeeper,
the old hologram in goal.
What Stekelenburg was doing there, I just don't understand. I don't understand why he went into that area and didn't get back and cover his near post.
The look on his face when it went in. He was
went
like,
under his
whoa, did that happen? It was like, it happened, mate, because there was nobody in the goal.
It was just bizarre.
You were pressing. It was like, and then there's one not long after that.
Do you think he just got involved in the pressing game? Got to press.
No, there's one not long after that, wasn't there, as well, where they put it onto the right and he went past and then put it wide. I mean, he was about 3 yards offside. I mean, the referee...
The line that gave some offside that for them as well, that never were. And other ones that were like...
That's why... That's why I can't... I'm sitting here and I can't... I can't...
People, though, I've seen some people taking it to heart and you're like, you can't... It's not even a game. It's like... What made me laugh is last season when we beat Erding 22-0, people were like ripping it, going to joke this, it's blah, blah, blah. So why was that a joke when we played a team after a week's training with our first team, battered them? That was a joke. But when we've had 3 days and gone to doing an obligation with half of our team missing at least, isn't it a joke? But what I took out of it was people like Lewis Gibbs, and I've not really watched them in that environment before, obviously. I thought he looked very assured.
Looks like a young John Bishop. He does. I'm just saying.
I thought he looked quite good.
Again,
no, it just means...
I find it difficult to... I do seriously, Baz. I find it difficult to say who looked good and who didn't look. Who did?
But
because
when you watch a game of football, you can tell who looks ahead of other players. And I would say he looked... comparatively, he looked ahead. He looked
fine in possession, and he didn't do anything stupid. And there's times where Holgate was trying to be a little bit too, look at me, I'm a Premier League footballer, instead of just, like you saying, just do the job, what you need to do on a pitch like that, in an environment like that. The second, they went in 1-0 down, poor goal, come out second half, rung the changes, all the first teamers. I mean, let's be honest, we only had Gomez playing, who's a first teamer. You know, you had Ademola Lookman, and you had Baines, and you had Snidlin, and you had Tom Davies,
Walcott.
You know, and Walcott. They're not first team regulars now. Only Gomez is a first team regular, so they all go off anyway. It's replaced by Holgate stays on. He's the only one really that stayed on, and we play.
And Gibson.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But I'm saying anyone who's sort of first team.
Sorry, yeah.
I mean, it's all 23s. And once all the 23s come on, you could see...
They look like a team.
They look like a team that had played with each other. They all knew each other. They all knew each other's runs. There's a bit more energy about them as well. Like I've got to impress you. It probably cooled down maybe a little bit as well. And they probably tired a little bit as well. So we looked a lot better second half. They really weren't a threat at all.
Or I know you don't want.
No, that's fine. Second half, we can talk more about the second half. I don't mind. First half, not interested. But second half, you can see a little bit more.
Who caught your eye?
Joe Williams, great free kick.
Was a great free
But you know what? When he stepped up, I knew he was going to score.
Yeah,
he just had that look about him. He's got
like
that.
He knew what he wanted.
He has that look about him. So I was, as soon as he put it, I mean, it was a penalty anyway.
It was weird, wasn't it?
It was a penalty anyway.
I think the initial contact was on the line, but he caught him again in the but it didn't.
But so he looks composed, and he looks like he's got something about him. Do you know what? I like Fraser Hornby. I don't honestly think he'll ever be an Everton centre forward, but there's just something I like about him. He just reminds me of an old-fashioned number 9 but a modern version. He doesn't mind running the channels, but he'll go in and get himself hurt. He can play up front on his own. He's
got the physique to be a Premier League
and he's still only young.
He's had an injury, so he's probably 6 months behind where he should be. But yeah, I thought his link play was quite good. Little bits and pieces he has to sharpen up on, but again, it's 3 or 4 days into training as well for him. I thought I like the look of Josh Barlow. I think sometimes he runs, he needs to simplify. I think he was just trying to impress too much, which is fine. I thought Beningame and Eden Aaron looked quite good. He was always on the front foot trying to play a little bit, and I thought Broadhead done all right. Made some good runs, was lively. Decision making needs to be a little bit.
It's always decision making with them, isn't it? Though, with kids that young, it's always decision making.
But you're right. They looked a lot. The second half, they just looked like lads who play together. So they knew where each other were making the runs, and it was positive, wasn't it, when watching them? But I did look and think, if you're the manager though, looking at a squad that's trying to get into Europe, how many of these would you include? And Joe Williams is one who would think. The manager might think, I want another little look at him, because let's see what he's like in with Sigurdsson and in with Go. You know what I mean? Playing with better players, can he perform?
Do you think how many of them looked physically capable of being in the first team? Because I thought, as soon as I seen Holgate, I thought he'd beefed out a little bit.
He looks like he's put a bit of beef on, yeah.
He looks like he's been on the weights and stuff.
Well, I thought Gibson looked like he physically, I'm not saying he is, because I know he won.
He's not the tallest though,
no,
is he?
But I think he's looked athletic, and I think he'll probably go out and loan anyway, so you take him on. Hornby could cope with it, I think, but I don't know whether he's ready. But I think physically, he looked... Eden Aaron, he's a unit, mate.
Him and Beningame
I
and
thought Benny
Marcello
done well as well. He covered the pitch. We didn't see enough of Marcello, did we? But Benny covered the pitch quite well. Like I say, Josh Barlow looks interesting, but I think he needs to go and play in the first team and get his decision making a little bit better. Probably the same with Broadhead. So really, if you're looking at it from that perspective, I'd say Joe Williams physically, he's a big lad, can get it on a pitch. I think he would be one who you...
And he's had 2 loans. He's had 2 loans, hasn't he? And you think, we're going to know more once, I think.
Well, what did you make of this? There's a couple of stories come on Saturday that there's a couple of Bundesliga teams wanting to take him, and Everton have had a couple of bids. I mean, what would you...
For who?
For Joe Williams. He's got a year left.
Permanently?
Yeah, he's got a year left on his deal.
Can we sell him and have a buyback clause? Is that not something we can start doing? I mean... Man City do it.
Because he looks to me like he could develop. He's got something about it. I know what you mean. He's got composure.
Yeah. He's got composure.
And a little bit of devil.
Yeah. He looks like a footballer.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't panic. Like, you look at someone like Hornby, every time he got a chance, he just wanted to do something.
Bowler as well.
They're always... It's
snatching the thing.
Yeah, it's like that excitement. Whereas he just like... he's like, I've played for a couple of years. I've done it at a level. I'm a little bit. I think this season for him will either have to be in the squad or go somewhere. And again, Everton have got to be clever.
Yeah.
Stop letting people go down to the end of their contracts. These are people that you've invested your money in, and you're letting them go away for nothing at the end of the contracts. So, I mean, brands will be all over that, let's be honest, but you can't be allowed to go on any longer.
I think it will change, and I just find it interesting with Joe Williams, because last summer Marco Silva identified him as someone he wanted in the first team squad for the pre-season, which I thought was a bit. So he's obviously watched that kind of thing, and then we know that in January the couple of bids came in and Everton rejected them because Silva's. So I think maybe Marco Silva is thinking along the same lines, looking and going, he's one who potentially could step in, so we want to keep him. It'll be interesting what they do for him here, because obviously, I'll tell you who didn't impress me. Anthony Robinson. Not at all. And he has impressed me in the past. I thought every time he wanted to he put one great ball in, to be fair, for Broadhead's header, but I just thought he was really negative. When I'd seen him, he was really positive. He seemed to just want to pass the ball back, and that wasn't what his game was about.
Do you think that might be, I mean, when you look at that,
confidence.
I think that when you look at that team, he's one of the players that was on loan last season, so may not necessarily fit in with the rest of the team.
But he's a player that's, like you say, he's been on loans. He's had 2 loans now, hasn't he? And he's had Bolton as well, wasn't he, the year before?
Yeah, he was at Bolton.
And he's had 7.
That's what I'm saying. So
7 caps at
that's what I'm saying. He's
had
2 years where he hasn't been with them. And if that was the only thing we take from the game, is that they all look like they're a unit. I don't know. We'll wait and see. It's going to be more about the training, isn't it? They're going to get back and they're going to have a few,
Let's be honest, half of them at least won't be with the first team this week.
No, but
will they?
The under-23s are in La Manga, aren't they? So I don't know how many, whether some of them are going to go straight over there or he's going to keep them. You'd expect them to. See, again, how many now? What's the break? This is where the decisions have to be made about all those players who went over there. Their futures have to be sorted out.
Yeah.
You're either, are they going to go back to the 23s and have another year in the 23s? Well, for a couple of them, maybe. But some of them, come on, we've got to start making these decisions quicker.
I think Feeney and Gibson and Bowler definitely will go out on loan. I think they'll definitely go on loan this season. I don't know what you do with Fraser. I don't know whether he goes on loan, because do you put him back in? I'm surely he's 20 now, so he needs a loan. He's a big unit. He looks like he could do it, and he could go and play in the Championship, no problem. I think I'm not saying, but I feel like he's physically got that capability to go and play in the Championship. And then I think what should happen then is Ellis Sims should then be the 23 striker at 18. There's another lad who signed a contract the other day, Kieran Phillips.
Yeah, and there's also Masambe, is it?
Oh, as well. Because
sorry if I've butchered that name. I'm just off the top of my head.
Yeah, Masampala.
Yeah.
But there's Adenoyan as well, who signed a contract, but apparently there was like 6 clubs after him.
That's what I'm saying.
Tweeted it.
We're getting this like bottleneck of players.
Yeah.
And they're not kicking on, because we're in the past. I'm not saying now. In the past, we've completely chosen the wrong. I tell you what's interesting. George Hurst has gone to Leicester.
Oh.
Which we said a year ago we would do. So Leicester have got a club in Belgium that they own. They found out they got George Hurst out of Sheffield Wednesday for nothing. Yeah. To get round Bosman. Ironically, Bosman in Belgium. And now he's gone to. I'm just saying, maybe that's something we need to start thinking about. Is if you're gonna have somewhere for these players to go. That's what Chelsea have been doing for years.
We said it before, haven't we? It's almost a perfect bridge, isn't it? You're taking them out of 23s football, which is, let's be honest, it's 18s is non-contract, 23s is a better version of it, but it's still not anywhere near the level. If you had a midway team, like you say, someone in Belgium or whatever, where it's a step up again in front of crowd, that will have benefited those lads yesterday playing in front of 65,000. With a good atmosphere, it will have benefited them. If you can take some of them out and put them in these clubs and go, if we had a club, you could, imagine them as a team or 4 of them playing in a team, they'd really benefit from it.
And you know what, some people might be watching thinking, well, what's the point? You know, it's money going down the drain, but it isn't, because what's money going down the drain is paying £1 million for Bassa Sambu, paying money for David Hennon, and all these other players that we've brought in for good money, and them just leaving the club for nothing. That's money going down the drain.
Didn't we buy Boris Mathis as well? And
Yeah,
he's gone.
He was here for a year or something.
2 years, and then he went.
That's money going down the drain. You have to pay those players while they're here. A lot of them will be getting looked after in digs, which you have to pay for. That's money going down the drain.
If you've got a club somewhere else, if you can do it, or certainly like a partnership or whatever, and these lads can go there, a couple of them will either stay there because the club will go, well, we actually like them and we'll keep them here. You might make money on a few, and it pays for itself. And the odd one, because let's be honest, it comes down to fractions. The odd one comes back and is good enough to go in your squad.
Put it this way though. Put it this way, right? We had a full 11 yesterday in that second half. We were all 23s.
Yeah, because Marcello come on.
You know, so therefore all right, maybe not the goalkeeper, but
but Marcello come on.
Virginia will be, no, I'm saying, but Virginia will be going on loan. He looks like a genuine someone who genuinely at the club. That's 11 players. You've got to start thinking about what you're going to do, and that's what I'm saying about that bottleneck. You look at all these young players who are signing contracts, and I know we can't bring in anyone under 18 at the moment from the UK. Is it 18 or 16?
16, isn't it?
Is it?
But it's from the UK. We can't from Europe.
Yeah.
We can't.
So, there's now a bottleneck, and there's a lot of players between 18 and 22, 23 now. Even someone like Pennington, who's been linked with a move to Turkey, believe it or not. I don't think his skin. Don't think his skin cope in Turkey.
He can't. Fuck the 50s, love.
It's expensive.
Part of his concept.
We're getting a bottleneck now of players, and we've got to start doing something with them.
Well, that's what I meant when I was saying to you about that second half. When you looked at that team, you've got to start thinking now, we're a squad that are trying to get into, let's be honest, we're trying to get in the Champions League. Yeah. Whether people laugh or not, that's what the aim is, right? To get in the Champions League. So if you look at that team yesterday of 23s in that second half, how many of them looked good enough to you to go into that team?
Exactly.
And you look and go, there's a few with potential, but other lads who you look and go, they're decent footballers. They're not. Some of them are 20. Like Anthony Robinson, I've seen him and thought he's a good player in the past, but I looked at him yesterday and just thought, look at Luca Dean. That's the level. Leighton Baines in the first half. Baines wasn't great, but he got forward and he was comfortable in possession. Now, okay, I know he's experienced, but some of those lads really went for it in that second half, and others just got.
That's the point of going on loan, isn't it? You have footballers with talent, and then when they go on loan, they find composure. I think a way to play football, a bit of composure, and that's what I think with Joe Williams. What you've seen a player there who's like, I'm ready for the next thing now, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
The under 23s is a place to put your young players. It's nothing else. No. It is absolutely nothing else.
Holden Bay almost.
It's somewhere where players play, and that's it, isn't it? They don't seem to like. No one in the under 23s seems to like that level. Doesn't seem to kick anyone on. No one says, "Well, put them in the under 23s because then they'll become." Everyone's putting them out on loan, and it's where you're putting them on loan, and it doesn't seem to be working. You know, for us, I mean, Dow went to Sheffield United, now he's getting linked with moves to Huddersfield. It's like, whoa, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? It's not. I think Everton have to come up with a solution that benefits everybody, because the way it is at the moment, it's not. If Joe Williams wants to go and play in Germany for 2 years, fair dues, but make sure that in 2 years' time we can bring him back.
If we want him.
Don't, start looking like that. City sold a player to was it PSV, yeah. And then brought him back. Played for a year, done well, and they were like you're ready you're ready now. Maybe that's what we've got to start doing, because I think the way it is, we've just got, as we're talking about, there's going to be a lot of those players that are just going to go, so we'll wait and see. I reckon they've got a couple of more games. Some of them have got a couple of more games to impress, or they've got a couple more weeks to impress in training. The ones he might start cutting them down.
Well, we go to Switzerland on Friday, I think. don't they? So they train Saturday and they play Sion on Sunday, don't they? And then obviously there's the week's training and they've got Monaco on the Friday. All of them won't be going to Switzerland straight off the bat, will they? Because
some of them might, though.
some may,
So
but,
you might
but
take...
don't forget you've got Bernard, Dean, Keane, Sigurdsson, Pickford.
Oh, yeah.
All of them are back this week. I don't know
But
when.
doesn't he have a...
But
doesn't he have an obligation to take some of them, though? Because...
Well, Joe Williams will go. Joe Williams will go. I imagine Gibson and Feeney may go because, well, just we haven't got centre-back, so they'll go and be with Michael Keane and Holgate. I don't know where the Barlow will go. Bellingham will probably go because he's been part of a first-team squad. But I think it'll...
I think we've got an obligation to... He's got an obligation to look... Maybe he'll take a few and then once he come back from Switzerland, he'll know. It'll almost be like when you make... Like last summer, he was making his mind up.
Maybe.
And maybe that's been the problem for some of those players. Last summer, he was trying to make his mind up on a lot of first-team players. He's already made his mind up now. He knows who he wants out. He knows he doesn't want half of them back. So maybe this... Well, all of them back. Maybe this summer, it's like, well, now I need to make my mind up on some of these 23s. So we can actually go, you know what? We can get you a move and you're gone. And then I can start concentrating on the next ones. And maybe that's something he'll take from this trip.
And I suppose he was quite buoyant in terms of bringing people in.
He had
another 4, didn't he? So if he can get a couple of those in this week, he'll want, because I imagine he'll want them in Switzerland with them, because this is I know we go to Germany twice, but they're just 2 days in Germany with playing the tournament on the one day. This is the real bonding week, isn't it? So I imagine Everton will try this week to maybe push a couple of those deals through if they can. Obviously,
get a few out, get a few in.
Well, like you've said, there's talks of players going on, so we'll have to see.
We'll wait and see.
It was decent in the second half to see those lads having a good run out. I mean, you're right, you can't. It's not a real game because there's been no fitness, no real training around it, and there wasn't a first team, so you can't really take too much from it. But we didn't lose. That's what you can say.
Well, we lost the penalty thing that happened afterwards.
That didn't matter. Listen, some of their celebrations were amazing.
I know, they were
the leg one with the hamstring pull was amazing.
Fair play to them.
And brilliant for them. It was fantastic for them, wasn't it?
And I think, they got
done well. They played well.
They did great for them. I think they'll get more sponsorship out of Sports Paysa. I think they got a kit deal out of it with Umbro as well. I think so. I think they got a new home and away kit. So fair play to them. Get everything you can for that club. Get everything. Watch a little video on them how they help kids and how they bring them in and how they have this thing together and so absolutely amazing.
So it was good. Where
shone the light on them for a little small time. It'll get money in and hopefully that's
65,000 people watching.
Brilliant, fantastic. Good for them. Let us know your thoughts on the game and on the trip overall.
And the 23s, is there anyone who really impressed you and you think he could be part of our squad?
Let us know in the comments. Give this video a like. It really helps the channel out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And join us on Patreon as well, where we'll be chatting about this game more live in a little bit. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.